Good afternoon, dear students. Today we are going to discuss with a new topic that is called as polymerase chain reaction, in short, which is called as PCR. So PCR stands for polymerase chain reaction. How can you define PCR? It's a technique of in vitro amplification of DNA by performing repeated cycles of strand separation and polymerization by the action of DNA polymerase enzyme. Okay, so what is PCR? In vitro amplification of DNA by repeated cycles of strand separation and polymerization by DNA polymerase enzyme is called as PCR or polymerase chain reaction. It was invented by Kary Mullis in the year 1985. In each of the polymerization cycle, the number of DNA fragments get doubled. So millions or billions of copies of a single stranded DNA can be obtained within few minutes or within very short period of time. Now, something about PCR. So, polymerase chain reaction is a in vitro enzymatic technique for amplification of specific DNA sequence without cloning. Okay, we are not going to perform cloning here. Okay, so further, PCR is in vitro technique for amplification of that particular region of DNA whose sequence is known or which lies between the regions of known sequences. It was invented by Kary Mullis in the year 1985, for which Kary Mullis was awarded Nobel Prize in the year 1993. In the year 1985, Sakai et al. Published the first application of PCR. And in the year 1966, Thomas Brock discovered a bacterium named as Thermus aquaticus, a thermostable bacteria from the hot springs of Yellowstone National Park. And in the year 1985, the PCR process was revolutionized because of development of or isolation of a thermostable DNA polymerase from the bacterium Thermus aquaticus. That polymerase is called as Taq polymerase. See, PCR is used to produce large copies or large amount of DNA sequence. Every minute quantity of DNA can be duplicated and we can get large quantity of the DNA sequences. PCR thus is a very powerful tool as far as DNA amplification is concerned. PCR is carried out in a machine which is called as thermocycler. It is an automated machine or automated thermocycler. What are the reaction components that are required? The template DNA which needs to be amplified, whose copies are to be produced. We require forward and reverse primers so that we can synthesize new strands. The primer join to the DNA template and new DNA strand is synthesized. We require enzyme, that is Taq polymerase, or we actually require a polymerase enzyme to synthesize a new strand on the template DNA strand. Okay, for the synthesis of new strand we require DNTPs, deoxyribonucleotide triphosphates, adenine to pair with you can say thymine, guanine to pair with cytosine. So we require DNTPs. We require magnesium ion. We also require buffer. So the first requirement is a DNA template. What is a DNA template? It is the DNA which contains you can say, or it is a DNA which needs to be amplified or duplicated, and the size of the target DNA to be amplified may range up to 3 kb. Okay. Second requirement is primer. We require two set of primer, forward primer and reverse primer. These primers can be synthetically produced and they are generally 20 to 30 nucleotides long. They are complementary to the 3' end of the target DNA. Okay, they are complementary to the 3' end of the target DNA sequence and they are not complementary to each other. The third and important requirement is Taq polymerase enzyme or any other natural or recombinant polymerase which is thermostable. See, initially, when Taq polymerase was not known to us, E. coli DNA polymerase was used in the PCR. PCR reaction consists of 3 steps. Step 1, melting of DNA or denaturation of DNA, where double-stranded DNA is converted into single strand. Step 2 is annealing, where primer is joined. Step 3 is extension. That means new strands are synthesized. So in step 3, we require DNA polymerase enzyme. But if you want to automate the process and if you add the enzyme in the beginning itself, Then what happens to normal DNA polymerase? That in step 1, for denaturation of DNA, we require a temperature of 94 to 95 degrees Celsius. And at this temperature, the DNA polymerase is destroyed. That is why the whole process of PCR could not be automated. After every cycle, we had to stop, add DNA polymerase and then proceed. This is because the DNA polymerase is inactivated at the temperature required for step 1. So, we say that PCR was revolutionized. The complete machine, the thermocycler, was completely automated only when Taq polymerase was you can say invented, or Taq polymerase was isolated from Thermus aquaticus. Why? Because Taq polymerase enzyme isolated from Thermus aquaticus bacteria. This bacteria was isolated or found in the hot springs. So the Thermus aquaticus Taq polymerase can tolerate a temperature of 95 degree Celsius. The enzyme remains active at 95 degree Celsius, right? So we say that with the invention or with the production of Taq polymerase, PCR was revolutionized, right? DNA polymerase enzyme isolated from E. coli is destroyed at a temperature of 95 degrees Celsius, required for separation of two strands of the double-stranded DNA in the first step itself. The enzyme therefore has to be added for each cycle separately during the last step. In 1988, Sakai et al. Made a major breakthrough because he used heat-stable Taq DNA polymerase isolated from the bacterium Thermus aquaticus that lives in the hot spring at a temperature of 75 degrees Celsius. The optimum temperature for Taq polymerase is 72 degrees, but enzyme is stable up to a temperature of 95. Taq polymerase has 5' to 3' extension activity. What are the advantages of using Taq DNA polymerase? We get a higher yield. We need not add enzyme. Repeated addition of enzyme is not required after each cycle. This enzyme has high specificity and long DNA fragments up to 10 kb can be amplified. One more thermostable DNA polymerase is PFU DNA polymerase, isolated from a thermostable bacteria, Pyrococcus furiosus. The PCR cycle consists of 3 steps. Number 1, denaturation or melting of DNA, which is generally carried out at 94 to 95 degrees Celsius for 1 minute. Number 2, primer hybridization or annealing of primer at the 3' end at say 40 to 50 degrees Celsius. And third step is primer extension, synthesis of new DNA strand at 72 degrees Celsius. And all the 3 steps together are carried out in an automated thermocycler. As we can see from the diagram, polymerase chain reaction contains step 1, denaturation, where double-stranded DNA is converted into single-stranded DNA. Step 2 is annealing. During annealing, forward and reverse primers are joined at the 3' end. Okay. And in the third step, it is primer extension and new strands are synthesized after addition of DNTPs. So double-stranded DNA, 2 strands of DNA are converted into 4 strands. So after every cycle, DNA is duplicated or doubled. If we look at the general procedure for amplification of DNA by PCR, it involves 3 steps. Step number 1, melting or denaturation of the target DNA. Single-stranded DNA is required for the synthesis of complementary DNA strand during replication. Hence, the target double-stranded DNA is heated. The target double-stranded DNA present in the mixture is heated at 94 degrees Celsius for 1 minute or at 95 for 1 minute in automated thermocycler. What happens when you heat it at 94 degree for 1 minute? The hydrogen bonds are broken, the 2 strands get separated and double-stranded DNA gets converted into 2 single-stranded DNA templates. Each of the strand can behave as a template. Now to each of the strands, primer has to be added at the 3' end. So annealing of primer to the single-stranded DNA strands. The 2 chemically synthesized oligonucleotide primers having say 15 to 20 or 20 to 30 bases of DNA are added to the reaction mixture. Okay, so 2 chemically synthesized oligonucleotide primers, forward primer and reverse primer, are added to the reaction mixture. They anneal at the 5' end of the template DNA strand and you cool the reaction mixture. Okay, initially the temperature was 94 degree for 1 minute. Now you cool the reaction mixture. You can cool it up to say 50 to 60 degrees Celsius. Okay, so say for example at 55 degrees Celsius for 1 to 2 minutes, annealing of primer will take place. So in automated thermocycler, generally the temperature is 55 degrees for 1 to 2 minutes or 1.5 minutes, which allows the primer to bind to the 5' end of the complementary flanking target DNA. This process is called as annealing of primer. Temperature and time are the key variables that may vary depending upon the sequence to be amplified. Step number 3, primer extension, synthesis of new DNA strand by the action of Tuck polymerase enzyme. Deoxyribonucleotide triphosphates, DNTPs, and Tuck DNA polymerase enzyme are added to the reaction mixture. Why? Because they are needed in the third step. DNTPs to synthesize new strand, polymerase enzyme will catalyze the synthesis of the new strand. The mixture is heated. Again, step 1, 94. Step 2, you cool down to 50 to 60 degrees. And in step 3, again increase the temperature to 72 degrees Celsius. So, rise the temperature to 72 degrees Celsius for 1 to 2 minutes. Okay, in the automated thermocycler, complementary DNA strand is synthesized on the template. Okay, so these are the 3 steps. These 3 steps together form one cycle. At the end of one cycle, 2 strands of DNA are converted into 4. Okay, so the 3-step cycle is repeated several times to get multiple copies of the DNA sequence. So after each cycle, DNA gets doubled, right? So you have a double-stranded DNA. So in the first step, the double-stranded DNA is converted into single-stranded DNA. Okay, now in the next step, at the 5' end, the forward and reverse primers are added. At the 5' end, 5 forward and reverse primers are added, which we call as annealing of primers. Okay, after that, DNTPs are added and primer extension is carried out and double-stranded DNA is produced. So after the completion of 3 steps, okay, the 2 strands of DNA are converted into 4 strands. So you can look at this diagram. So this is the template double-stranded DNA. After the first cycle, you have 4 strands. That means 2 double-stranded DNA. After the second cycle, again duplication. After the third cycle, you can say duplication. After the fourth cycle. Okay. So after so many, every cycle, the DNA gets exponentially amplified or it gets doubled, right? So this is how PCR helps you in amplification of DNA without cloning, without involving any vector or any cloning organism. You can get multiple copies of DNA within few hours. Okay. What are the applications of PCR? It's a very specific and it's a very specific accurate reaction. So the final DNA product is very pure and identical. It's very pure and identical. It is adopted to amplify DNA even if it is available in a very small amount. If you have target DNA in a very small amount also, PCR will help you in amplifying the DNA. So PCR is used to propagate DNA for gene manipulation and for constructing gene library. It is used to amplify DNA fragment which is isolated from organism. The amplified DNA are used for various clinical diagnosis like genetic disease, pathogenic disease, etc. PCR is used for amplification of DNA to detect the criminals in forensic science. Okay, it is used to propagate DNA to determine the sex of the baby at 8 to 16 cell stage. This technique is used in vitro fertilized eggs. Single-sided PCR is used to make gene probes. Gene probes are used for detecting genetic diseases, identifying the pathogen, and so many other reactions. Okay. To search for the presence of a particular DNA, we can use a probe. Particular gene, we can use a probe. Random PCR is used to amplify particular DNA in a pool of DNAs. RT-PCR makes complementary DNA copies selective from single species mRNA found in the pool of mRNA. So nowadays, you must be hearing about RT-PCR. So mRNA, from the mRNA, we prepare complementary DNAs by RT-PCR. Inverse PCR is used in chromosome walking to detect the correct order of arrangement of various genes in a chromosome. Race amplifies a particular portion of complementary DNA to deduce the amino acid sequence in a protein. Okay, PCR provides DNA for cloning in PCR-based expression vectors. So that is all about polymerase chain reaction.